Would never dream of going to a teacher's house.
Your work motto is very impressive here.
You can't have all study. Put too much pressure on, then that can not be so good for the children.
I really want to know about some differences between studying in Vietnam and studying in your country. So in Vietnam, actually, students often attend extra classes after school or some private tutoring classes run by their teacher. They go to their teacher's house to study some subjects like math or physics or chemistry. Does it happen the same in your country?
No, not necessarily with the teacher. Like we have for people who need extra help, they can have like private lessons where they pay for. But normally we don't do that. No. So we have the classes itself, and that's it.
Not as much.
Not as where we were aware.
Common?
Not in the normal state schools. No.
Sometimes, usually in America, it's a curriculum that's very organized. So maybe not extra, but sometimes tutoring and stuff. Yeah.
How many % of students do that?
Probably like 20, 25. Yeah, less. Most students follow the studies, the curriculum, and that's it. So.
Not very often. I feel like it's maybe only 1 or 2 students that do extra help after school. Yeah.
What about?
It's not common. Sometimes particular students get a different teacher. If they're struggling, that's really more common than I think after school.
Here, a lot of students, they often attend extra classes to study like math or literature or many subjects.
Right.
For many reasons. Some students, they don't understand the lesson at school, so they want to go to their teacher's house to learn again.
Yeah.
And sometimes they want to do revision for exams.
We have that here. It's called tutoring. It's private tutoring.
Tutoring class, right?
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Not really the same. Most learning is done during the time of day, the school day.
A lot of people value extracurriculars or work outside of school. So after school, a lot of people do not want to keep going to class or do more schoolwork.
No. Never. Would never dream of going to a teacher's house. So after school clubs at school for sports and things. And then revision sort of solo or maybe with friends, but not really. Not so much with the teacher.
No, I don't think so. You can have extra classes, but not with your own teachers. Would be something like extra to get a little bit deeper in the knowledge. Usually they do some kind of sports or extra classes in their interests. Some like coding, for computer science and all of that, but mainly sports after class.
Students have to learn a lot in Vietnam. After 8 hours at school, they learn in the evening, they learn on weekends.
School was also very competitive. The testing process. In America, it's very easy. Vietnam is very, very strenuous and rigorous.
Yep, a lot of tests, a lot of exams.
Yes, your work motto is very impressive here. People really strive to get smart here.
A lot of Asian people that come over, that they have to study constantly. We've noticed a big difference from Australians to Asian students. Asians are more focused on study, and they would go to school 6 days a week if they could, where Australians don't.
Same.
Yeah.
Do parents in the UK often put a lot of pressure on their children to study harder or better than other students?
I think we try to, but sometimes we fail miserably.
It's not always encouraged because they have a thing at home about mental, the mental side of it, and putting too much pressure on children. So I think our way sometimes is that do your very best, and your best is fine. You put too much pressure on, then that can not be so good for the children.
Parents in Vietnam, some parents, they force their children to study, and they always want them to be better than other students, so they force their children to study more and more. And that's why they, after learning at school, they always choose to study extra classes in the evening, sometimes on weekends.
It's normally, if anything, it's 1 hour after school. It's not on weekends or anything like that. 1 hour before or 1 hour after school, but not more than that.
Here in Vietnam, a lot of students, they spend the weekends studying.
Yeah.
They spend their evenings studying. A lot of studying here. Yeah.
To get ahead.
Yeah. In like the older years of high school, people will study more, but I feel like up until maybe the second, year 10, which is like grade 10. I don't know what grading system you guys use. But year 11 and year 12, before people go to university, then they study, but not so much.
In Slovakia, it's normal to be satisfied with like average knowledge. It's sad, but it's true. Being abnormal, clever, or something, you're being weird then.
My family was not very strict with me. My family encourages working instead of not as much academic. So once I was done with school, they encouraged me to go out and find a job.
So my parents wanted me to do well, but I think it very much depends on the person. Some people really value education. Some people don't think they're good at school, and so they would go into workforce or military instead of school. I like school. I like school, so I've stayed in school.
Definitely education's important, so yes, definitely do that, but there's got to be a balance where you have fun as well. You can't, I think personally, just my view, can't have all study. You've got to have a balance where you, a couple of days, don't study.
What about you?
I'm exactly the same. 5 days work, 2 days weekend off. And I think students should do the same thing as well. Fixes up the minds, relaxes so they can focus on what they need to do.
I really agree, because I sometimes in Vietnam when I see children very little, they have to go to school sometimes like 7 days a week, every evening. So they are really stressed because of their study. So I don't want to see them do that. So I think they should like have more days off. Focus on like hobbies, sports, just like 5 days a week studying, like you said, and spend more time relaxing.
Absolutely, with the family.
We don't notice it until they get to high school. So when they're like 13 and up, that's when you get the problems if they study too much.
Yeah.